Hello everybody. After 12 hours of intro, we are finally ready for CTC 2025. Match day 1 it is, and welcome everybody in the stream. I hope you can hear me. So yeah, we are back with the Community Team Cup. Finally, after a long period between the seasons. It's time to go team versus team racing once again for this year, and what a year we have. Definitely some changes to the season, but we will get to that probably throughout the entire year. So we are here, match day 1. This is the schedule. So we are live with ART versus RTR. In 30 minutes time, we see Race Asylum and ZFS over at the ZFS Racing YouTube channel. Then tomorrow we have 3 matches. DTR versus AHR, Gen X versus RTR X, and MRL versus BFS. And then match day 1 concludes on Sunday with the epic Battle CLR versus TCR. So all of our matchups will be streamed with a live broadcast, so you don't miss anything. You can also go to the real life later on. So we have a little couple of matches where we won't be finishing with that one and the next is already starting, but yeah, that's the good thing about YouTube and stuff. You can watch it later. Always. Epic pressure, yeah, that is true. Alright, so our settings for this match day in Gr.B. We are racing, or the teams are racing, the Mazda Roadster Touring Car. The track is the Lego Maggiore West reverse layout. We are doing 30 laps. See the multipliers for fuel, tires and rear fuel, times 4 times 4 and 8 liters per second. We are running in the afternoon with times 2 time progression. We have a nice, lovely preset sunny 01 weather settings, and all of the racing tire compounds are available, but the racing soft tire is mandatory to use. Our travel lineups for today. Teams will be entering into that race. You see the ART squad and the RTR squad. So RTR with their second team this season, after making to the finals last season, they thought, hey, that was fun. We do 2 teams now, and we have some new names for RTR for their yellow team. You see them definitely appearing, and we will see them on the track as well very soon. So we should be ready to get into the qualifying session pretty soon. So you probably noticed a little bit of changes. So we are just having 1 race per match day. Will be roughly 45 minutes in time. Race distance will be converted to laps, so we don't have the issue that people don't get to do that final lap and the timer is running out. That is the idea, at least. So the home team can decide all of the settings that we just saw on that screen, and we have 12 teams in total, 2 groups. And so every team has a home and a away leg against the other teams in their group. And this means we have 10 match days in the regular season. And after that, the winners for Group A and Group B, they will advance to the grand final. And this is where we'll be having 2 races again. Ooh, looking forward to that. But that's still a long way to go. We're looking at the final in December so we are just starting that thing now. And I get company in the commentary booth, so we can forward to that. So just hide the nasty stuff you don't want to see. And I'll invite my friend Inferno the Fox to a little party. So bear with me for 1 second. Go. It should be okay now. So yeah, so every team gets their revenge if some of the teams pick a naughty combination. They get their chance to do the exactly same later in that season as well. So this could be like interesting to see what people are going for. And Inferno is with me in the commentary booth. Good evening, mate. How are we?
Good evening. I'm good. Thank you very kindly.
Nice one. Nice one. So a surprise co-commentator for that one. You seized the opportunity here. Was like, spot in the lobby. Let's grab it and go for it. All good?
Yeah.
All good. Nice, nice. All right. So yeah, a bit of a different setup. Just one race, so you don't have to prepare for 2 races for a match day, so a bit more preparation for one of the combinations, but should still be very entertaining. A little bit longer, the race, as I said, 45 minutes roughly in time. And I still hope a couple of strategy options with some of the settings, so we definitely have some crazy combinations on that first match day already. That should be fun. So yeah, also the qualifying session has changed a little bit. So we will be running a 10-minute qualifying session for both teams again. Not separated into halves like we had last season. This also means we can speed up the entire procedure. So we use the same settings for qualifying as for the starting slot of the race, so no equal conditions or whatever. If it's not explicitly set in the lobby settings, it's just a straight 10-minute session. There will be no tire wear and no fuel consumption for that. But that's about it for the changes, and a sweet combo. Yeah, I mean, competing teams might have a look at those combinations and see, that looks interesting, who knows. But I was surprised to actually see the Mazda touring car appearing twice already on match day 1. So it seems to be a popular car probably for that season.
Well, I would honestly say that this is a relatively safe starting point for the season. Like, you got a small front-engine rear-wheel drive car that's got racing pedigree and is relatively easy to drive, whilst also being quick enough to provide some interesting racing. I've actually got some experience with this car, and it is actually really nice to drive.
Yep.
I'm curious to see how the fuel is going to last, though.
×4 it is, yeah. So
yeah, because these aren't exactly race engines, if I remember correctly. These are just tuned up stock Miata engines. I mean, considering the curb weight of this car is around 900 kilos, I would expect the tyres to actually last pretty long, especially the softs, seeing as they're the mandatory tyres. So I'm expecting to see possibly a 1 stop for tyres and fuel.
Could be the case, yeah. So I did a little bit of practice for all of the combinations to just see if like the laps are roughly matching the 45 minutes and get an idea about possible strategies. And you could be up to something here with that one. So, but I also feel like if you're pushing the tires too much, then those softs, it will be quite tough actually to get them to the halfway mark. So that's maybe one of those settings the home team ART had in mind, maybe for going with it. So maybe it's a toss between suffer with some heavily worn tires on that final part of your stint, or go for mediums. I don't think you can go no stop because of the fuel.
Yeah, I don't think a zero stop is going to happen.
Yeah. We will see what the teams they have practiced for it. Pretty sure. So yeah, we'll see. So we should be starting that qualifying session now any second, and you see a quick reference here, 1:30.6. That is the fastest lap during that quali warm-up. Now I'll expect those times for a front row start maybe. Alright, and here we go. We start the qualifying session now, 10 minutes in total. And we have like the home team should go out first, and then it's roughly 30 seconds afterwards where the away team can also leave the pits. So we have like a little gap between the teams, so we don't want to like cause any incidents during that qualifying session. Already, we just want to keep it clean and make it like still a team-based qualifying session, so you can use some slipstream if you want to. Not sure if it's really helping you. At this layout, there are mostly fast, mid to fast corners in here. But yeah, we see definitely the ART crew. Here, trying to drive in a close formation for now. Coming into Banky Boy, the reverse Banky Boy, that is. Still it is. So yeah, you cannot go on Lego Major without having Banky Boy in some sort of it. But here we go. So let's have a look at those liveries as well. So we see the ART in their traditional blue and yellow livery. So you always recognize those cars on the track. And for the RTR crew, we have blue, white and yellow as well on the car. So alright, without any further ado, we go on board with Gr.B for that first flying lap, coming into the first turn. So you have to carry the speed, you have to cut that inside curb as much as possible to carry the exit speed. That's roughly 160 kph on the exit of that curb. It looks like a decent speed into the next double left-hander. Don't run too wide. Here was okay, pretty sure. And now, for my liking, the tricky part of it. If you nail it, this is like so nice, but if you don't nail it, you understeer into Narnia, and yeah, a little lift so that you cannot go flat. And brake for our lovely friend, the Banky Boy. Taking a very tight line on that inside line. Now the run uphill, so you need to get a decent exit out of the Banky Boy. And now approaching what's supposed to be the S's on the full GP reverse layout, but we are doing the shortcut now. So if you're doing it for the first time, you're like, wait a minute, where am I going? Oh, shit, it is left. Now brake for that bit of a slide. So the car got loose. And then into the final two turns, the slowest part of that track, with the deathly barrier looking at you when you come around that final turn. But that was one lap around Lego Majority West in reverse, and Quinny with a 1:31.5. Kyle a bit quicker, a 31.5, but we saw 30.6s for the RTR drivers, so let's see what they can do. So 31.5 currently. That time to beat for RTR and Lapin GT, or R Lapin GT, I should put that correctly, of course. Here we go, he comes around that final turn. Looks like a solid run so far. It is a 30.8.
30.8.
Here we go, and we have the German driver.
30.5.
Yeah, he was flying. So the German driver, Sorted Reizen, I pronounce it in German. I know it is flavor 13, if you're wondering. You're not German speaking friends, but yeah. And the Swiss driver, Petrol, in third with a 31.2. So 1, 2, 3, 4 RTR after the first round of timed laps. So far, again, we have the same points as last season. 3, 2, 1 for the first 3 for that qualifying. So looking good for RTR. Can the ART driver improve a little bit? Not sure if this is the lap for Carl. No, we had a bit of an off. What about Queenie? Also didn't improve on that second lap. Where is the next ART driver? Nick No One or Nick Noon? I'm struggling. he was running in the 2023 season for ART. He had a bit of a break last season, but now he's back, and I still don't know if it's Nick No One or Nick Noon. So let's just go with Nick. That's probably easier to do. But do you have any preference how to pronounce his name?
I wouldn't have a clue. I'm also just going to refer to him as Nick.
Nick.
I see Captain slowly has improved.
P7 it is, yeah. Rather. Oh, we get a quick run through that grid. So Sorte in P1 still with that 30.5. What a lap it was. Lapin GT in P2 and Petrol third. Old Banger moved up to P4 for RTR. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Then Carl Games Drums in P5, best ART driver, closely followed by Gr.B, the two top tier ART drivers, and P3 for Gr.B it is. He jumps 2 RTR drivers. Then we had Captain Slowly in P8, ART de Robis, Chauvois. I'm trying to pronounce it as French because of the D, but it's just like de Jovis. Doesn't look like French, that flag, to be honest. So Nick running Chris or ART as well. We saw Rever and OM Dalton 84 in P12 currently. So 3 minutes to go in that qualifying session. Petrol up to P3. 1, 2, 3, 4 RTR again. That's 2 tenths the gap for Queenie. Now P3, EP4. Also saw our Lapin with a improvement, 30.7, getting closer to his teammate in P1, and a purple first sector. So can they improve? They're definitely with a clean run so far, heading into Banky Boy. Getting a nice exit.
Petrol also on purple first sector.
Oh, here we go. Maybe the wind has changed a little bit. I don't know. Getting a little bit of a headwind for that uphill part. Probably not what you want to have, but still purple for our Lapin GT. This comes into the final sector. Especially this off-cambered turn is tricky. If you go too fast, you definitely hit the grass on the exit. But again, another nice tidy run through that final turn. And will this be the new fastest lap? Nope, but getting closer. 0.6 So petrol comes around. 1.5 minutes to go in that session.
Ooh,
30.8.
Slight improvement.
Captain slowly up to P5. But in front of Old Banger and Rebber. So where are the ART drivers? Now that let me have a look. 2 more laps, maybe. 2 more laps to go in this final session. Kyle with an improvement. Nearly 3/10 up. Could move him up the order quite a bit, I reckon. Yeah, that's really close between P4, 5, 6, and 7. This is extremely close, yeah. So we will stay with Kyle. See, he has a nice little toe as well on that straight. Or should be an improvement, probably. 31.8 P4.
Ooh.
So what about Sorte on that final lap now? 30.5. That was like the magic lap he needed to have, probably. So our Lapin will be able to get another chance to go for a lap, and Petrol will be the first to finish that qualifying session. And no improvement in P3 for now. ART drivers trying to push and get on to a podium for the qualifying session. Maybe second row start for Kyle at the moment. Will we see some improvements happening? It's 3/10 down. Won't be improving. Where's Quinny? He's running in P5. Could maybe move up a little bit, but needs to find 3.5 tenths roughly on that lap. Is it possible? We shall see. 30, 31. Nope.
No.
That was too slow. But so I guess that's qualifying done.
Lapin doesn't look like he's improving.
Yep.
He's down by essentially 1.5 tenths.
Right, so looks like this is the qualifying session. And then done. Sorte 13 with the pole position. Our Lapin GTs, as you said, not improving. Another sub 31 though, P2. And whoopsie, there goes our screen. So we get to my lovely intermission screen, so you can see the qualifying results now. So 1, 2, 3 for RTR, then we have ART in 4 and 5, then RTR 6, 7 and 8, and on that second page we have the 4 remaining ART drivers. So the entire grid within 1.5 seconds, top 9 within a second. And yeah, looking at the P5, P8, that could be interesting. Not much separating those cars, at least on a qualifying based performance with their lap times. So we have maybe a mini break, and then we will get directly into that race. So it is 30 laps. You see, we have the racing hards, the racing softs being mandatory, but all compounds are available. That's what I wanted to say, of course. So again, I can show you the race settings: ×4 on the fuel, ×4 on the tire wear, and 8 liters per second the refuel speed. And the time of day weather settings pretty much straightforward. looking basically at default settings apart from the progression, which is ×2. And then, yeah, the racing compounds all available. Even the intermediates and wet tires are available. Not sure if you really want to use them, but yeah. And mandatory tire it is. The racing soft. Alright. Here we go. Then we're just waiting for the race director to confirm the results, and I'm just grabbing the results as well, so I can maybe present you live points after the race. So with a quick and dirty spreadsheet, not like a fancy graphic, but might get an idea who could be winning that match day, of course. But yeah, let's wait for the race to happen, let's say. Or we get ahead of ourselves in here. So, alright, I think we can wish the drivers good luck and have a good race. And then let's get ready for our first race of the 2025 CTC season. Here it is Group B ART versus RTR. And looks like messages are popping in. Ready up, people. Let's have some fun with the Mazda touring car at Lego Maggiore West in reverse. That's a bit of a mouthful, but hey, it's all good. So, chat, what are you rooting for? What are your favorites to win the race?
It's hard to say, really. Who would I... Considering how strong RTR were last season, I do want to say that they are probably my favourites to win this round.
Probably not an outsider trick. Yeah, here we go, and we're off. So great start for Lapin. Already challenging. No, looked like for a brief moment, but it looks like it stays as it was after the qualifying session. 1, 2, 3 for RTR, then 4, 5 for ART. Oh.
So I just thought I saw Nick having a moment there, but it seems like he's fine.
Alright, so I already spotted something. So softs and mediums are actually being used. So softs for the top 3.
Interesting.
Quinny with the medium tire strategy. Kyle with softs. Here we go. Captain Slowly, old banger, soft. We have Rever also soft. So RTR with the soft tire start strategy at least. And we have Gr.B on softs. Chris on softs. Oh, got unsettled through the Banky boy. Nearly touched his teammate. OM Dalton and Nick as well. Nick also on the medium. So 2 ART drivers using medium tires. Here we go. We have a little bit of a mixed strategy, at least for that first half of the race. Again, not sure how long the fuel actually gonna last, or will it be the tires that are the limiting factor. So one thing that's for sure is a no stop is not doable. That's at least from what I can remember. There we go, Sorte with a nice opening lap, 8/10. The lead already. And Kyle, the first of the ART drivers to chase the top 3. Queenie on those mediums dropped the position, but not a surprise. Now maybe tries to hold up the 3 other RTR drivers with that medium strategy. Well, it's also not the easiest track to go for overtakes if you don't make like a really bad mistake. that is. So, but it's early on for Jägercam. I need to do it, otherwise I will be missing out on that opportunity. So here we go. That's always a perfect opportunity when the cars are still close. I love that shot, looking over that rear view mirror behind. See the cars. It looks pretty fast, to be honest, in those touring cars. Ooh, taking the wide entry, but plays it safe at least for now, and gives Kyle a little gap already. 1.2 seconds. So let's go the other perspective. Let's see Captain slowly trying to chase down the ART driver. And first turn so crucial to carry the speed. Oh, bit of a ground.
Quinny!
But not too bad. Kept it.
Got a little bit of loose out of that turn there.
This could also be the difference between the softs and the mediums. So we were using softs for quite some time now for the qualifying and the warm-up for the qualifying. Now back to the mediums. Definitely less grip. Trying to go for a run. Not yet. So we go through the grid. So Old Banger in P7, we saw that driver in P8. Then we have the ART drivers. Gr.B in P9, Chris in 10th, OM Dalton in P11, and Nick P12. So it's still fairly close here. Not
Captain
the gaps.
slowly now rides on the bumper of Quinny here. Possibly looking for a opportunity.
Yeah. See, Quinny keeps that position for now. Yeah.
Ooh, but Captain slowly got a little bit of a wiggle.
Yeah, it's
Coming up the hill there.
bunching up between. No, Quinny. So that's all of the RTR drivers are on the soft tires. And look at this shot. Like you see, basically 8 cars there on one straight. Oh, a little wiggle for Old Banger. Again, Quinny a bit wide, touches the grass on the exit, but manages to stay in front, doesn't lose too much speed by the looks. And having a first look at the tire wear, so yeah, definitely you see
There is a noticeable difference between the mediums on Quinny and the softs on Captain slowly.
Yep, definitely.
But saying that, Quinny is using slightly more fuel. Oh, speaking of which, here
Yo, there's the opportunity. The run uphill we go.
oh,
They go side by side.
Through the S's.
So Captain slowly. Oh, they go side by side through that little S. Oh, a little bit of contact, but nothing major. So now Captain slowly has the inside line for that off-camera turn, and he
he's
makes the
made the
stick.
new
Yep.
stick.
Oh, and Quinny under pressure again. Old Banger tried to go for a move there, but wasn't close enough. Just said hello. So we go for the
Nick
replay.
almost hitting the barrier there. Going through the front turn.
A nice setup, that overtake, and then there was like a brief moment, a gap, but that closed again. So this is the exciting mid-pack battle, definitely. Quinny on those mediums. Trying.
Oh, Old Banger got a much better run out of that turn.
Yeah,
But because of these fast S's, it can't really do much.
nope. And Quinny under pressure again, but Banky Boy should be fine to keep the position. Now it's the run again. I think a little bit struggling with the power. Old Banger now right behind will it be enough to go for a move? You're not.
No.
No, the slipstream is not that strong.
Well, he did actually have a better run through the turn, but he ended up bumping Quinny on the exit, so that unfortunately caused him to lose a little bit of speed.
Yep. But still, I think a great defensive drive for Queenie. Yeah, you saw that so between Kyle and Captain Slowly.
Nick, please! It came very close to the barrier there.
The famous barrier.
Oh.
But yeah, and Kyle is right behind Petrol, so he's having a good run. He also has the fastest lap of that race so far, 31.0. So he's definitely got into the groove, but it looks now going faster once again. So we go on board through that tricky section. Oh, he had a nice, just a tiny little bit of a lift that was nearly flat, so it had a perfect opening for that downhill corner. But then I'm not so sure about the exit. Banky Boy loses a little bit, not too much, still has the slipstream that will save him definitely from losing more time. But this is like, also you have to keep the momentum. It is technically not a race car, as Inferno stated, but the specs are not too far off a Group 4 race car with that one. So very comparable. I think they're lacking a little bit of the top end.
Oh, hang on, we've had an issue. Dalton's parked just before the turn.
Oh yeah, I damaged as
the
well.
uphill turn.
So I pressed. Oh, he lost it somewhere. We'll see if we get the long replay. See what happened. But I don't think someone was involved in that.
Yeah,
he just lost it. Yeah, the weight transfer and right, left, and boom.
Oh, that is unfortunate.
Yeah, really unfortunate, but still, you never know. Can happen to other cars as well. And we just saw our Lapin there touching the grass downhill and sort of touching the gravel on the exit of Banky Boy. So they're also not completely clean. So little mistakes. Not that it mattered at the moment, but it's like, yeah, tricky. And the tire wear is kicking in now. Definitely a third, I'd say, on those front tires for most of the drivers. So it could get close for a soft strategy.
Oh! Just saw that on the minimap. Dalton's had another mishap coming on the run up to Banky Boy.
Come on, buddy. Just calm it down. Get your head down. Don't need to force anything, but Queenie under pressure now, Old Banger with a good run out of the final turn. But Queenie on those mediums, I think they are not too bad now, the mediums. Let's have a look at the lap times. 32.1. Yeah, and Captain Slowly 32s all on softs without traffic or having to fight. So yeah, maybe we are seeing a crossover point here with mediums versus softs. Those mediums really looking good for Queenie.
Yeah, and I'm noticing that Captain Slowly is actually going considerably slower now. I wonder if he's trying to fuel save.
That could be an option, yeah. So probably sees like I cannot get past that easily. Again, there's another opportunity with an
Old Banger looking up the inside.
They go inside by side once again. It looks like he has the run now. Oh, Queenie jumped over that sausage curb. Will this be a penalty?
And he got a penalty.
Yeah, but just wondering. That is like probably more avoiding action than actually wanting to take that shortcut, but still, yeah.
But now Rev only has to be patient here because, you know, as long as he stays close, he'll have a free overtake.
So, yeah, that was a bit too much. But still a nice move. A nice move there, Old Banger. With the better run coming out of Banky Boy, which set up that move. Eventually. Quinny now in 5th, and yeah, with that penalty. Where's the penalty zone, by the way? Out of Banky Boy?
Coming out of Banky Boy, just over the crest.
So we'll lose that position. And yeah.
Well, the bottom of the crest, I should say.
We will probably lose more than half a second. The location of that zone. Yeah, it's uphill. Ah, painful.
Yeah.
Painful.
You lose so much momentum.
Yeah, definitely. So right, let's go back to the leaders. So nearly 55% maybe of fuel remaining and 50% of the tires. So yeah, maybe a one-stop on softs is possible. No.
Yeah, and they would have to go to lap 15.
Yep.
In order to make it work. But if they can manage to push it to 16 or 17, they would actually have a little bit extra grip for the end of the race.
That's true, yeah. Kyle used up more of the tires.
Oh, Captain slowly! Very well held, good sir.
Let's watch that again. What happened? Just a bit too late, maybe? Oh, that rear stepping out, yeah, and whoa, sideways. But yeah.
Yeah, don't it look like they clipped the sausage curve just a little bit, which unsettled the car.
Yeah, that's true.
Easily done in this car, actually.
Let's still have a look at Quinny on those medium tires. Just under 50% of the fuel tank remaining. And then we have the 3 ART drivers, Chris, De Robis and Nick. 9, 10, 11. So Nick also on medium tires. Could see something happening, but I just saw that group of cars is getting closer to one of each other here. Like Queenie on that back. 4 tenths just on the mediums. Rever now probably feeling the soft tires, not being in the best condition anymore. Captain slowly after that nice catch, but lost the position to his teammate Old Banger in P5. So the tire wear definitely now noticeable for the drivers. And probably the driver with the worst tire wear is Kyle. And he lost a little bit now. 1.8 the gap to petrol. It's 1.5 the gap to Arlapin, and Arlapin and Sorte, they are doing a nice little team run, 1-2. Basically the same gap since the start of that race for the top 2. But we also see now even the top runners struggling with the lap times now. 32s it is. So we are definitely getting closer to a pit stop window if you want to go mediums then for that second half of that race. Can't see that Kyle will go that much longer on those softs.
Yeah, because that front right is definitely taking hell of a beating around here.
Arden, yeah, so much yellow on those cars. And blue as well, yeah. Yeah. I mean, you've seen the color variation changes that the CLR drivers have already applied to their liveries, so for their match day, you shouldn't be surprised. Now in that middle part of that race, where the medium tire runners, Quinny and Nick, definitely have the pace advantage and the upper hand with the strategy, and the soft tire runners now struggle a little bit, but it's just 2, maybe 3 laps away from pitting to go on to a fresh compound once again. So who is going for that pit stop first? Top 3 staying out. Kyle also going for another lap. He has to if he wants to split the race into halves with on lap 13. 15, that sounds like a good plan. But will the tires last for that long?
Well, you can definitely see Sorte having to really fight the car now.
Yeah. Captain slowly lost the position, dropped down to P8 behind Quinny, and the 3 ART drivers, Chris, Nick, and Gr.B, they are also catching up with Captain slowly. 35, yeah, there was a little mistake somewhere. 3 seconds off the pace.
I mean, with the medium tyres on Quinny, he's actually starting to reel in the RTR guys. Now, there is a strong possibility that Quinny could actually just decide not change any tyres and just go for a splash and dash.
Yep.
Because the tyres do seem to be holding up quite well.
Yeah, I mean, you lose probably 5 seconds with changing tires compared to staying on them. But I think that the grip loss towards the end, and if you can go on to soft tires, I mean, looking at the tire management abilities Quinny is showing us, he has to go on to the soft tires at some point.
Yeah. Yeah, so I would expect to see Quinny go long, possibly up to, well, depending on how long the fuel lasts, possibly up to lap 20. So that way, when he does come in, he'll have significantly fresher tyres.
And lower fuel, lighter car.
Exactly, which means he can actually push a little bit harder.
Yeah. Could be interesting also to maybe get the fastest lap, the 2 extra points secured. So for now it's currently Kyle for ART, and yeah, we're looking at the leaders. So lap times are dropping, definitely. Still not too bad for the leaders. Let's say mid 32s. It's still good pace, and let's see if they go for one more lap on those softs, or will be a early pit stop, staying out.
They are going for another lap.
So one stop on softs looks to be a strategy.
Kyle's actually going for the undercut.
Yeah, his tires weren't that good. Will he go on to mediums?
There's a good chance he may go on to the mediums.
It's a bit. So Quinny, of course, is staying out, and yeah, that gap to Rever and Old Banger is that closed up, and the 2 RTR drivers now on worn soft tires, struggling a little bit. So where is Kyle? Oh, that takes quite some time, that pit stop. Bit surprised to see that. And he's going softs again by the looks.
Yeah. Yeah, fresh sauce.
Right.
Oh,
Interesting.
Quinny's hounding Rev right now.
Yeah, look at that. Nice run. So can he get a good run out of the Banky Boy turn? He's going for a wider entry to focus on that exit. Gets a decent run. Closes that gap. We could see a move happening just before the downhill part. Yeah, trying to set up that car. Rather defending that inside line. And keeping that position for now. So what's Quinny's decision now?
The leaders are coming in.
Yeah. Would you reckon an overcut strategy will work? Clean air or just follow them into the pits? He's staying out. He's staying out.
Oh, he's got to overcut. He has to overcut in order to try and gain some ground on the RTR drivers.
Definitely going for the freshest tires for that.
Oh, that's interesting. Chris is actually staying out
on softs. Look at that.
Yeah, I mean it's actually looked at the front tires, so you know it's open.
Yeah.
But if I was Chris here, I would probably consider making way for Nick, just so that way you're not holding him up on the medium tires.
So Kyle with that undercut, I don't know, I think he overfueled. I think he overfueled compared to the RTR drivers.
Yeah.
Lost.
Unless he doesn't feel as comfortable with the fuel saving.
That's also true, yeah. But it was roughly, I don't know, just over 3 seconds before the pit stop. Maybe 4. But definitely lost a little bit now. It's 5 seconds. So now we wait for the top 3. Now, pretty sure that Chris should be pitting this lap with those soft tires. And Quinny, let's wait and see. Yeah, stayed out. One more lap it is. Chris going into the pits. Be aware of that white line on the pit entry. Nick also stayed out, so the top 2 are still running with the medium tires since the start of the race. Everyone else pitted now, so we have 3 RTR drivers, Sorte, Lapin, GT and Petrol after the pit stop. And they will be going into the lead after the top 2 have completed their pit stop. So they have to pit because of that fuel, so they won't be getting to the end. That is the issue. So otherwise I think the medium strategy could be a nice one. And also we have to remember the soft tire is mandatory. But yeah, so that's why Quinny has to go to the softs.
Oh yeah.
Nick is low on fuel. Now Quinny has a bit more fuel remaining. But then
yeah. I think Nick will pit in this lap and Quinny might risk one more lap.
Could be, yeah, but looking at the lap times, the last 2:33s, that's not the lap times you want to do with that overcut. I think he wanted to stay in the 32s. So pretty sure he will be pitting now.
Let's see.
And of course,
Quinny's staying out.
Of course, he is doing the exact opposite. But Nick, yeah, Nick with the fuel, that was to be expected. Then, all right, so we have Quinny then going for the ultra fresh soft tires towards the end of the race. And can someone improve that fastest lap of the race? That's the question. 31.0 still set by Kyle. But Kyle losing 7.2 now. Not the best run. Cannot get closer to the top 3.
Yeah. Back to Old Banger. It'll be close for Quinny to get out ahead of Old Banger and Rev.
39.1, that's a good lap time, and Queenie's doing 33s. 3 laps in a row now. Even if he has to put in less fuel compared to the other drivers when they were doing the pit stop, I don't think that overcut will work, but we'll find out pretty soon. So the fuel is low now. It's time to pit for our race leader, and I reckon they will be running P7, P8, something like that, when they complete their pit stop. So see the top 3 crossing the line. Quinny's still sitting in the pit, now arrived at that pit. I mean, it took them like 20 seconds for a 500-meter run to the pit crew. So a bit of a weird animation going on. So yeah, definitely the fuel, not as much as the other drivers, and it's P8, yeah, that shot behind Captain Slowly, who has some work to do now. Definitely the best tires,
yeah,
so he can push. And it's 3.5 seconds already to P7. And another 3.5 to P6, so 7-8 seconds, something like that. Queenie needs to find to jump 2 other cars. That will be quite difficult, I can tell. So let's get through the grid, since everyone did their pit stops. So Sorte leading in that race again after taking pole position, and also led the race since the start, apart from the 3 laps where Queenie was doing the overcut strategy. Arlapin GT in second with a new fastest lap of the race for Petrol in P3. Close that gap to the top 2. So we have 1, 2, 3 for RTR. Really close. Now then, Kyle unable to go that pace now. Nearly 9 seconds in the gap to the top 3. Another 6.7 seconds to P5 for Old Banger. A second then to his teammate Rever in P6. Captain Slowly in P7. And Quinny now with the first time left.
Chris was off-road a little bit there, coming down turn 1. Not sure what happened there, but I'm sure we might find out.
Yeah, so Nick with the pass. Chris got down to 10th. Rovis in 11th position, and OM Dalton with that one really painful lap with 2 spins in a row, lapping at the back of the grid to see what they can do. Can they? They could go for a fastest lap towards the end of the race, put on some fresh soft tires, get into a rhythm now. The top 3, they won't be fighting. Pretty sure about that. Maybe just on the final lap of the race, where the leader Sorte goes a little bit wide onto the grass. Doesn't seem to be struggling too bad with dirty tires. Yeah, a little bit. Oh. So now this could be the run for our lapping. And he gets into the lead by the looks. They go side by side. Yeah. That was, probably the best decision, so they won't be losing any time as a group. Petrol in 3rd with that fastest lap, 30.9. Kyle then in P4 all by himself. Old Banger and Rever P5, P6. And Captain Slowly closing that gap a little bit to Rever in P7. And the gap to Queenie, nearly 5 seconds. So Queenie not up to speed on those soft tires. 33.0, that is slower what he did on medium tires for most of the first stint. Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting to see the tire performance. Again, not improving, not going for personal bests. And Chris and Nick in P9 and P10. They're going for personal bests now, so they're definitely improving on those soft tires on that second stint. A bit surprised to see Queenie not really putting in personal best at least. So 5.3 seconds. The gap to Captain Slowly not gaining at all. Rever and Old Banger, that gap stays roughly the same. And Kyle by 31 again. Maybe he was looking after the tires early on. He was, I think, the first driver to pit, had to go for the undercut. Maybe that's why he was not pushing too hard on those first laps since the pit stop. And the top three, after that little mistake, are lapping now leading. Sorte in P2 and Petrol still running P3. Wow, that rear was stepping out. Good save. So I reckon if you don't see a late pit stop for fresh soft tires, then that fastest lap should stay with RTR as well. So now we see the tire wear kicking in. And a little bit of spaced out action here, or non-action, let's put it that way, on the track. So no real battles for positions, and also not between the two teams currently. We saw Queenie now with the personal best. Can he catch Captain Slowly in P7? It's under 5 seconds to go with 7 laps in plus after completing this one. So it's doable. Pretty sure he definitely has the best tires. But apart from that, Chris and Nick running, I think, also like nose to tail for that entire race. Those two. Still hoping for something to happen, maybe at the front. So what? We see some surprises towards the end. So what is fuel something the drivers might underestimate? Will we see someone running out of fuel? We see the fuel looking quite similar for the top three, at least.
Yeah, Sorte's looking the lowest out of everyone.
Yeah, Kyle more fuel than the top three. Old Banger within that same range. Rare as well. And Captain Slowly a little bit lower, but should be also okay. And Queenie has like massive amount of fuel remaining. He can definitely push and rev that car. But it's now 6 seconds again, so had a not the best run on that previous lap. It was briefly under 5 seconds, now up to 6 again. looks like it will be tough to catch the other cars. And here we see a little bit of team racing action, a little bit of bump drafting. Yeah, I know I said it, the bad word, but it's allowed this season. Hey, you can do whatever you want. So bump draft or not, it's up to you.
Yeah.
Onto the grass. Keeps it on track. So we have a little gap now between P2 and P3. 1 second. Will we see a last lap battle for the win? If we can go with last season, RTR had a couple of those races where they were like dominating from the front, but they weren't actually fighting for the lead. At least it didn't look that way on the streams. So they just kept it as it was and didn't go for any silly moves. But maybe new season, new rules. We don't know yet. Kyle again. Those tires. That less fuel didn't really help, in my opinion. It was like the wear and still 5 laps to go. 5 seconds. 2 old banger.
It is a little bit concerning, that.
Yeah. So if the tires hit that cliff and they just drop, I think you easily lose 1.5 seconds per lap. And then 6 seconds, it's not that much, to be honest. Never. And Captain Slowly, P6, P7, also very similar pace. The gap stays roughly the same. And Quinny, yeah, look at lap 24, a 34.0. That cost him 2 seconds. He's trying to push. 7 seconds with less than 5 laps to go. I think I've seen easier tasks than that for the drivers. Chris and Nick, the tandem, still driving next to each other for the entire race. I hope they still have fun, like driving that close to each other and driving for a team. That's also like a difference. Usually they are competing against each other in their own community leagues and events, and now this time they can actually work together, don't have to fight. It's a different aspect to racing. Also in P11, Gr.B is a newcomer for this season, so welcome to CTC. 11, William Dalton did 1 race last season for ART. And yeah, staying in the race, of course. You never know what can happen. So let's have a look at the gap between Kyle and Old Banger. 6 seconds still. So not losing at the moment. But you can also see the tires. Yeah, it's.
Oh, Saute getting a little bit on the grass there.
So the soft tires are fading now, and Kenny preserve a little bit of wear. Hitting now, this would be a disaster. I would lose 4 or 5 positions maybe more. So he has to stick with it now, but 33. What is this now? The part, yeah, 32.5. Half a second, 6/10 maybe. But it's not enough with 3 laps remaining for our drivers. Queenie, an up and down race, under 5 seconds that gap again. So those soft tires now, they are in a good shape compared to the rest of the grid on softs. Personal best last time around. But is it too late? Is it too late?
Quite possibly.
Maybe 1 or 2 penalties that lost him again that pace he needed to go on soft. So we saw a couple of slower laps, 34s, 33s at some point. Maybe there were penalties involved, I don't know. But this looks a good run now. Gaining definitely half a second already for this lap, and we are on the penultimate lap for the leaders. Our lap in GP P1 Sorte in the second.
That fuel is looking...
You say fuel is low for Sorte.
Yeah.
Could be okay. Yes, he has slipstream. He can probably short shift a little bit. We're seeing blue flags scenario. We're on that penultimate lap. Oh, Sot again going a bit wide, touches the grass. It has to survive for 1 more lap. So Dalton, great driving, getting out of the way. So 1, 2, 3 for RTR, then in P4 it's Kyle for ART. 4.4 seconds the gap to Old Banger. Another 3 seconds to Rever. 1.5 to Captain Slowly and 4 seconds to Queenie. So those gaps are coming down now between the cars. It's the penultimate lap though. Still, we never know. They fall off a cliff now, those tires. We don't know. Chris and Nick, the 2 drivers, swapping positions from time to time. P9, P10. Dejovis in 11th and Dalton in 12th. The final lap for the leaders are lapping Sorte and Petrol. Top 3 within a second. Now coming through the end of the first sector. Kyle, the gap 15 seconds and 2 P3. Low on fuel. Old Banger in 5th. Rever, Captain Slowly. We see definitely some very low fuel runs now on that final lap. Queenie can push. 4 seconds still, that gap. We go to the leaders now through Banky Boy for the final time. It is our lapping, keeping the lead. Sorte in 2nd and Petrol in 3rd. And that fuel, yeah, it is low for the German driver, but I think he should be fine. Just fine.
Just barely, I think.
So into the final sector we come, and then just the final chicane. Whoa, that was the attempt of a dive. No, it wasn't. And now it's final turn, and it's a 1, 2, 3 finish for RTR. Are lapping. They're going for the team photo. Look at that. Are lapping Sorte and Petrol. 1, 2, 3. Nice one, Kyle. Then in 4th position. Oh, we have a yellow flag. What is that? Probably because they spun it over the line. Stupid game. The race is finished. So Kyle in P4. We have Old Banger in 5th. Rever P6 and Captain Slowly P7. Then we have Queenie in 8th, Chris and Nick, the 2 drivers, finishing that race P9 and P10. We saw OM Dalton finish that race in P12 already, and then it's just Gr.B in P11 to cross the line. And well done, everybody. And we are starting this season for RTR where they left during the regular season with a dominant performance once again. So we are just bringing up the race results for you, going to the intermission screen, and then here we go. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 RTR, Lapin, GT, Saute, and Petrol. The 3 drivers, Petrol with the fastest lap of the race, 2 extra points as well for RTR. Then Kyle, Games, Drums for ART in P4. And the next 3 RTR drivers, Old Banger, Rever, and Captain Slowly. P8, Queenie, medium to soft strategy. The others in front did a soft strategy for that. Just take that screenshot here. And then we have Chris, Nick, Dejovis, and Dalton for ART. So I'm pretty sure you can imagine who won that match day. Probably I don't need to do the live scoring, but I can do it still. And we can have a look at the race result probably. So no, I won't be doing it. No, it will take just too long. So the official race results then will be posted in the Discord as usual once we have the results confirmed. I don't think I've seen any worth noting incidents, but as usual there will be the option and the possibility for the teams to report something that might have happened during that race, and then of course stewards can have a look at it. Alright, so then I suggest this will be the end for match day number 1, Group B, ART versus RTR. Well done, congratulations to RTR for that first win of the season. So bringing up our little match day schedule. So if you're quick, you can jump over to the ZFS Racing YouTube channel, not the Discord channel. You can also join their Discord, of course, but yeah, if you want to see live racing action, Race Asylum versus ZFS, it's happening right now here at Tsukuba in the Mazda touring car as well. It might be dark and it might be raining. I'm definitely looking forward to watching that after that stream has finished. And then tomorrow 3 more matches, DTR versus AHR. That will be on the Dream Team Racing YouTube channel. And we have Gen X and RTRX, the alien team, let's put it that way, for RTR. That will be streamed on the Gen X YouTube channel, and I will be back with MRL versus BFS, the second ZFS team. And tomorrow and on Sunday, we will have a crowded house for CLR versus TCI in the commentary booth. I think we will be 4 people joining that room for that race, so that should be a fun one. So yeah, that is the roadmap for match day number 1. So hope to see you soon in another live stream. Yeah, thank you all for watching. If you haven't already, like, subscribe, share, you know the drill. Thank you, and have a nice evening, afternoon, morning, wherever you are. Bye bye.